Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 12, Episode 1. I am so excited. Back in the New York groove. Guys, this is the happiest I've been since being quarantined. I'm super excited. And as usual, I am committed to making you laugh and taking your mind off of the situation. However, at the very end of the video, I am going to show you how to make your very own mask using just a bandana and 2 hair ties and about 30 seconds worth of effort. But that's at the end. So if you are not into it, I totally get it. Super quick shout out to Martha. We just got done texting like 2 minutes ago and love you. Okay, I can't wait another second. Let's get started. Okay, right off the bat, the ladies are all on their phones scrolling. The news has just broken about Bethany Frankel not coming back to film. And the reactions are... well, anything from, what? Oh, this is ridiculous. To, you gotta be kidding. Sonia says, this is huge. To Ramona on the phone with Tinsley. Well, did she say anything to you? And Tinsley's like, she never said anything, Ramona. To me, that's a nephew. I'm sorry. In what universe does anybody think that Bethany Frankel does anything because of the other ladies? In Ramona's confessional, the producer asks her, so what do you think about it? Ramona, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so stupid. But the best is Luann's confessional when the producer asks her. She's like, And then we see all these flashbacks of Bethany. You are a liar. You're a hypocrite. You're a horrible person. Luann. Well, it's really hard for me to say that I'll miss her all that much. And now we're getting everyone's taglines. Lately, it seems like it's always been like the second episode of the season where we finally get the taglines. So I'm pretty excited about this. We start with Dorinda. I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Sonia, I'm no one's accessory. I'm the whole lifestyle brand. Ramona, I don't need to find love. I love myself. Yeah, we know. Okay, now it's the new girl, Leah. I may float like a butterfly, but I sting like a bitch. I don't know. I mean, the taglines are always so bad. Well, not always. There have been a few iconic ones, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have heard good things about Leah in terms of her like seamlessly integrating into the group, which I think is not easy for New York. I would think New York City would be one of the harder groups of women to, infiltrate. But yeah, well, we'll see. Oh, Tinsley. Tinsley's is next. Life isn't a fairy tale, but I'm hoping mine is an exception. It's not. I know you think you will become the coupon queen, but this is just my opinion. You shouldn't have had to work that hard to get him to propose. I just see red flags all over the place, but, I hope for the best. I actually truly do. I like Tinsley. And finally, Luann. Raise the curtain, lower the lights. I'm taking center stage in my life. Yeah. Hers also could have been, I don't need someone to love me because I love myself, or whatever Ramona's was. I think the amount of self-love in general on New York is both admirable and insane. I mean, but I love it. All right, we open at the New York County Criminal Courts building. Sonia and Luann walk out the doors free as a bird. Yes, she has finished probation, and I think we'll see how she treats that. First, they have a very long embrace, and then she's like, "I gotta tell you, Lou, I'm shaken up." And Luann's like, "Well, I'm not. I feel great." I'm not saying she shouldn't feel great. She's gone through a lot, but just a skosh of humility may not be the worst thing in the world. Luann's like, "This has been a 2-year ordeal." Boo-hoo. You got arrested. You threatened the police officer's life, and then you slipped out of the handcuffs. So, I mean, sorry you had such an ordeal for 2 years. Okay, well, Sonia and Luann go to sit down on a park bench and, I don't know, celebrate, I guess. But instead, Sonia's really kind of going after Lou for her behavior. Maybe it's because Luann kind of has this braggy attitude. She's like, "Well, my kids were really there for me through it all." And Sonia's like, "Yeah, so were we. And you didn't seem to care." And she's like, "I needed to hit rock bottom so that I could rise to the top." In Sonia's confessional, she's like, Luann doesn't really remember how she treated all of us. She was obnoxious about the fish room. And then we get a little flashback to her insulting the fish room, which it was ugly. But you guys know that the Berkshire's house burned. Yeah, there was a fire. I'm pretty sure Dorinda remodeled the whole thing, so they should have a trip to the Berkshires. I mean, every season, it's kind of iconic. We'll see. Maybe it's not ready yet. I don't know. But I'm hoping they go because I'm anxious to see what it looks like. Anyway, so in her confessional, Sonia's like, she was obnoxious about the fish room. She dumped me after I went to that AA meeting with her, and I was all shook up. That was when they were in Miami, and Luann, she went to the beach by herself, and then she went to go see her poster outside a movie theater, I think, for Countess and Friends. And finally, she came back without the truffle fries. That's the real misdemeanor. All right, so like I said, as they're sitting on the bench, Sonia brings it back around and she goes, "Listen, I want you to know that we're there for you." And Luann said, "I do." And she said, "Yeah, but I want you to really feel it." Luann goes, "I do." And they hug, and she goes, "I just want my Sonia Rita back." As they're hugging, Sonia takes that moment to take a big bite out of her sandwich behind her back. Okay, next we are at a boxing gym. The Chiron says Leah, Tinsley's friend, so I guess Tinsley is who brought her into the group. You know what? I honestly thought it was Bethany. That's weird. I must have heard something about that. Maybe I heard that Bethany recommended her. Anyway, I guess Tinsley knew her too. So they are in this boxing gym, and oh my God, this boxing trainer, huge guy. I mean, I don't know how tall Tinsley and Leah are, but this guy looks like he's about 6'8" and kind of scary. Okay, in Tinsley's confessional, she tells us that she's doing great. She's moved on from Scott. And by moving on, she means they are now engaged. She has been focusing on her lash line. And she recently went to China and picked up 2 little rescue dogs that she has named Strawberry and Shortcake. I mean, that is so Tinsley. And you can hate me for this if you want. I love those names. It's so cute. I mean, I actually love them individually, maybe even more than together. Just a little dog named Strawberry is so cute. And Shortcake. I kind of wish I named Olive Shortcake. First dog that my husband and I got together, we named Kramer. I don't know. We loved Seinfeld, and actually it was a toss-up between Kramer or Newman, and then we ended up naming him Kramer. And so I think then after Kramer passed and when we got Olive and we're thinking about a name, we were thinking about TV shows again. I mean, Olive is 12 years old now. So that gives you an idea of how long ago it was. At the time we were watching this TV show, you guys are not even going to remember it probably. It was called Pushing Daisies. One of the characters was played by Kristen Chenoweth. who was just this quirky little neighbor, and she's so teeny tiny and adorable. Her character's name was Olive, so that's where we got the name for our little Olive. But Strawberry and Shortcake is adorable. Oh, okay. Tinsley also says that she just met Leah 2 months ago. So it's not like they were long time friends. Anyway, she said they hit it off and that Leah brings out her wilder side. So that's good. I'm just glad Tinsley has somebody her age on the show. Oh, you guys, Martin, the trainer, he scares that crap out of me. Tinsley gets in the boxing ring and she's got these ginormous hoops on. And he goes, "Those gotta come off." And she's like, okay, just so you know, this is like I am losing a piece of myself. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. My hoops and my lashes. Nobody fucking cares. Oh. Yes, sir. Oh, God. Okay, after throwing a few punches at Martin, the girls are all done with their boxing lesson, and they're sitting down on the edge of the ring for the little chit-chat. Apparently, Tinsley is dating a new guy who's also from Chicago. And she's like, yeah, so his name is Bruce, which I don't love it. I don't love it, but obviously I can't change his name. Oh, my God. I mean, you're not shallow or anything, are you, Tins? But he's super sweet. Oh, good. Then maybe we can get past the horrible offense of being named Bruce. He's got 2 ex-wives and 3 children. And Tinsley's like, and I'm super okay with it. Which is, I mean, it kind of like surprised me, but I am. I'm okay with it. I just talk to them like I talk to my dogs. I mean, that's right, isn't it? Leah's like, basically, yeah. Oh, God. Okay, then we find out that Leah is single right now. And Tinsley's like, oh, you are? Because last time I talked, you were seeing that guy. And she said, yes. We went to France. We had a great vacation. And on the plane on the way home, I said to him, what's going on with your divorce? And he said, it's on hold. And I said, and my pussy's on hold. Well, hello, Leah. I mean, I get it. Oh, also we find out that Leah has a daughter. So it's just she and her daughter live alone in an apartment, and she's kind of loving being on her own right now. Next, we check in with Dorinda and John. All right, if you're new here, I hate John Pedestrian. Yeah, that's not his last name. I don't care. Also, just let me get this out right at the beginning. Don't think that if he was younger, thinner, better looking, that I would feel any differently about him. I would not. My opinion of him was formed very early on when he was exhibiting extremely lecherous behavior with Dorinda's friends. This was now probably 4 seasons ago, 3 maybe. Gosh, is this my 4th season recapping New York? Possibly, because I started with New York. In any case, just the way he looks, he would like stare Carol up and down, and he'd make real sexual, suggestive comments, and just constantly leering at women. And then he did get into it with Bethany, and yeah, he's not a great guy. And every time he's on camera, just the way he talks is very oily to me. So now that we're caught up, John is over at Dorinda's apartment. They're cooking, they're in the kitchen, and she is talking about how her rib is healing very well. Apparently she was dancing with Carson Kressley, and Romy was showing her some Dancing with the Stars moves and kind of threw her, and she broke a rib. Yeah, but I guess she's healing very well. Side note, the towel that is slung over her shoulder, FabFitFun. I know this because I have the same one. Okay, I'm not the only one that thinks John is creepy. Dorinda also feels the same way. In her confessional, she said, I'm not used to spending so much time with John. And, it's true, but they say familiarity breeds contempt. And poor John is thinking it's so great. He goes, yeah, I kind of like that you have to lean on me a little bit more. And I really stepped up to the plate, didn't I? I don't get their relationship totally, other than the fact that she might possibly be using him for dry cleaning. I don't know. Does she just not want to be alone? I don't know. I don't know what it is. She does keep him at a bit of a distance, though, because when she moved into this new apartment, she furnished it and everything, and there was not a real place for John or John's things. So she kind of made it clear that this wasn't like, you're moving in here with me. Yet she is still with him. So I don't know. I'm confused, but I guess it's her problem, not mine. We get this scene of her kind of micromanaging him while they're making lasagna. He's doing it and she's like, did you put the cheese on? How did you shake it? Did you show me what you did? Add this and how about that? And did you do that yet? And he goes, I'm not done. And he's getting flustered, and now like ricotta cheese goes flying, and John, don't be a sloppy cook. And then he picks up the pan, but it's still hot from the oven, but he picks it up with his bare hand, of course drops it immediately, and Dorinda goes, I knew you were gonna do that, and I just let it happen. Yeah, there's some contempt there. So now that they're eating, they're talking about Luann being off probation. And Dorinda said, to tell you the truth, I don't even think she was an alcoholic. I think she just got caught. Of course you don't think she's an alcoholic. Anyway, in her confessional, she does say that she thinks that they're in a good place right now, which is surprising because we get a montage of many, many scenes where they were not in a good place. At least I didn't get a mugshot over it. And thank you, Giovanni. Yeah, they've been through a lot. So it will be interesting to see if they're in a good place or not. We haven't seen them together yet. Oh, yay. Now we check in with Ramona. And she is with her friends. Their names don't matter because they're probably just her real friends. They are not cast members. And some guy that I don't know what's going on there. The kiss was a little wet. But she said, he moved into my building now. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know who he is. I don't know who these people are. But she does tell us that she moved into a new apartment building on the Upper East Side, and she is spending most of her time in the Hamptons. So I think that's where she is now. And then we get to see her doing her little Hamptons dance, I guess. I was living the life. The Hampton life. Oh, wow. Things go south pretty quick. Ramona breaks down. Let me just say, this is a 180 from her tagline because she breaks down. I mean, breaks down crying. And I don't know that I've ever seen her cry like this. About how lonely she is. I've been running around like a youngster, and I'm not. I'm 60 years old. And I just realized I'm alone. I look to my right, and nobody's there. I mean, Coco's there, but Coco's not a man. I mean, Coco's important, but Coco's not a man. Coco is an important dog in my life. I would feel a little bit more empathy if I didn't know Ramona, and that if anybody's going to get through this, it's Ramona. I mean, can we refer back to her tagline for 1 second? I don't need to find love. I love myself. So, yeah. She's going to be fine. Okay, is she just wasted? Is that what's happening here? Because her friend is like, you will never be alone. You've got so many friends. So many people love you. Oh, wow. That went in a little bit of a different direction there. Okay, now we get to know Leah a little bit. We see her walking down the street with her daughter. Her name is Kier. She's 12 years old. I think she said they call her Kiki. She says that no city in the world is better than New York City. That's where she was born and raised. That's where she started her clothing line, Married to the Mob. And that is where she had her daughter, Kier. And then we see them head into a little bakery, coffee shop kind of a place. And then she said that no mother-daughter relationship is like theirs because they are best friends, they're mother-daughter, they're soulmates, they're partners for life. And she said, I don't know if that's healthy or not, but it doesn't matter because that's the way it is. I mean, I tend to think it's maybe not the healthiest. The reality is it's not going to stay that way because Kiki is 12. The chances of her ending up in a Grey Garden situation with you are slim. Thankfully. We also find out that Kier's father is still in her life. They have a good relationship. I think she said they have dinner together 3 nights a week and grocery shop together. Could that be? Maybe. I think for right now, I would just say she has a pretty good relationship with her daughter. She's going to 7th grade, and, that's like a tough time anyway. So I think it does seem like they have a pretty decent relationship. Now we're at Sonia's apartment. Ramona comes over for a visit, and they're talking about how her daughter, Sonia's daughter, just went off to college. Sonia misses her a lot. Ramona was giving her advice, and then she said, well, when are you going to see her again? And she said, I don't know. She just said, I won't see you for a while. And Ramona goes, what? And Sonia's like, well, I'm not like you. I don't go to the Jingle Ball and hang out with the 20-year-olds. Ramona goes, oh, yeah, I like the Jingle Ball. But then Sonia said in her confessional, I hope my daughter's not like me because when I went off to college, I never looked back. And we get a little picture of Sonia in college. Wow. I don't even know what to say about this picture. It doesn't look like her. I can't tell if she looks older than she does right now or just different. That is a different face. Now it is the day of Dorinda's party. I think I forgot to tell you guys that she was having a party. I don't even know what it's for exactly, but John asked her if all the ladies were invited and she said yes. So it's going to be some big thing and this will be the first time that they all see each other, I think. In any case, she's getting her hair and makeup done and Dorinda's sporting a new short little pixie cut. It might be okay. I'll have to see how they style it. So Dorinda is having this conversation with her makeup artist. And he asked her if Tinsley's coming. And she said, yeah. And then she goes, I don't know why Tinsley doesn't think I like her. For some reason, she just thinks I don't like her. Well, maybe it could possibly be how last year you kept questioning where her money came from in a very accusatory tone when not only was it none of your business, but why do you care? Okay, so Leah, Tinsley, and Sonia arrive at the party together. Tinsley introduces Sonia to Leah in the car. And when they get there, they go to the bar first, and Tinsley is the only one having alcohol. Leah said that she hasn't had a drink in 9 years, but she just started drinking 6 months ago. And she said, I have a very weird relationship with alcohol. So in a flashback, we see her and Tinsley talking, and she said that even if I drink very adulty and, glam fab 20 times, there's always going to be the time that I go crazy and, piss everybody off and go home with a rando. So, you guys, I know we're going to see that 20th time a few times this season. At least I hope we are. Oh, shoot. Okay, in her confessional, she said that last night I went out, got like that. I lost my Chanel bag and my passport, so I'm putting it on pause again for a little bit. Wah, wah. Well, if anybody can take it off pause, it's the ladies of New York. Oh, God, you guys. Okay. All right, so there is this great little scene of Ramona showing up to the party. Quick. I should have said earlier that Dorinda had introduced some of the people at the party to each other, and one of them was this guy, younger, kind of good looking. She was telling her friend, this is a friend of Ramona's, kind of like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink thing. And he goes, yeah, just friends, like that. Anyway, so that happened earlier. All right, now in the foreground, you see Tinsley and Sonia talking. In the background, you see Ramona arrive to the party. And she's walking toward them. And then that guy, I can't remember what his name was sitting like in the hall on a bench and on the phone. And so he stood up and you can see her go, oh, hi. And they hug. He gives her a little kiss on the cheek. He sits back down. And then she just starts kind of sauntering slowly toward Sonia and Tinsley, and then makes a right turn and goes down. Like, is she really not going to even just say hello to them? I kind of love it. Okay, well, she just rounded the corner to say hello to Dorinda, which I guess is fine because Dorinda is the host of the party. Then Luann comes in and Luann goes, look at you, your hair. It was not exactly a ringing endorsement, but Dorinda said congratulations to her and she said thank you. And then one of Ramona's friends from the Hamptons is there. Well, actually, they're both there. Elise, I think, is one of them. I don't know. Do I really have to learn their names? I didn't think I was going to have to, but if they're going to keep showing up. Anywho, here's how tone deaf these women are. The one says, oh, are you off probation now? And she goes, yes, I am. I got my life back. And the other one, with a cocktail, well, cheers to that. Yeah. The first one's like, don't do that. And Luann's like, well, you can cheers, but I can't. In Luann's confessional, she said, for so long, I've lived with the fact that I could go to jail for having a drink. But now I can do whatever I want. But I worked so hard to get to where I am. I don't feel like giving that up right now. Yeah. She'll wait a month to give that up. Oh, wait, I almost missed the best part. I'm Lou and improved. In retrospect, I guess I could have left that out. Okay, so I guess it's just an end of summer party. That's what Dorinda is having. Oh, and side note, you guys, as much as I like her jacket, it is a sparkly blue and white sort of blazer type thing. I think it's a real miss that she is wearing what appear to be white leggings with it. Not loving that so much. People are mingling. Tinsley and Luann are talking, and Tinsley introduces her to Leah. I don't know, Luann, it's a little awkward, but nothing bad has happened yet. Okay, so Dorinda has everybody gather around because she has a special guest, and it's Chelsea Piers, the drag queen, singing Feeling Giovanni. In Luann's confessional, she goes, wow, Dorinda's really gotten over this. I mean, this isn't an olive branch, it's the whole tree. And she proceeds to dance with Chelsea Piers and I have never, probably never in the history of the song Feeling Giovanni has anyone ever gotten into it as much as Ramona. Wow. She is feeling Giovanni. Oh, but possibly the best part of this all is that in Leah's confessional, she said, I really don't know what Giovanni is. What is it? So then she pulls out her phone to Google it. So she's Googling it and she goes, oh, so it's a clothing line? Yeah. Yes, Leah, that's right. It is a clothing line that Luann started using in her cabaret shows because she was introduced to them by Dorinda and then sort of weaponized them against Dorinda and wrote a song about it. I can understand the confusion. Okay, Dorinda in her confessional praises herself for letting bygones be bygones, I guess. I don't know. I forgive very easily. Then we have Sonia running into Colin Cowie, and she's like, hey, we have the same friends. We both know Colin Cowie. And she goes, I had sex on his sink in Saint Tropez. Not with him. Of course she did. I feel like a sink is Sonia's preferred place for having sex. Whereas most people might think that would be uncomfortable, not Sonia. Do you remember when she had that guy fixing up her townhouse and she told him that the downstairs sink needed to be repaired because she had sex on it and it broke off the wall? Then over in a little corner, Ramona and Luann are getting to know Leah. And they ask her where she's from and she said Chelsea. And Ramona's like, oh yeah, Chelsea, but where are you from originally? And she goes, Chelsea. And Luann goes, oh, you're a native New Yorker, but you seem so normal. Oh God, you guys. This is so great. This is so great. As they're getting to know each other, they discover that Leah has actually never been married, but they're all single now. And Luann said, well, the last 2 years I've been through hell and back. You know, I was arrested. And Leah goes, oh, that's why you were on probation. And she goes, mm-hmm. And she goes, well, I was arrested too, so not great. And she goes, oh, you were arrested too? What for? And Leah said, obstruction of justice and attacking a police officer. Luann, me too! Oh, God. Such a bonding moment. Yes, who hasn't attacked a police officer? I mean, other than me. Oh, Leah's story is a little rougher than Luann's. She was with her boyfriend at the time. They were making out, and then all these cop cars came and surrounded them and started beating up her boyfriend. I missed like what that was all about. But she, as a knee-jerk reaction, had a water bottle in her hand and threw it at one of the cops, hit him in the back, and he came and punched her in the face. And then, like, banged her head on the subway grate 3 times, knocked her front teeth out. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a story to tell there, doesn't she? Oh, silver lining. She won a lawsuit against the police department, won $75,000, and that's what she used to start her own business. I love this story. Okay, next, Tinsley pulls Dorinda aside. And she said, so I know like stuff is going on with us and we texted back and forth a little bit over the summer, but we've both been busy. This is not the time or place to get into it, but I was wondering if, we could meet at some point to have a conversation. Dorinda, yes, we can. That's great. But let me just say this. You telling me that I shouldn't be coming up with all these conspiracy theories, that's wrong. For our relationship to work, we can't always be trying, just pulling and dragging information out of you, Tinsley. Tinsley's like, what don't you know about me, Dorinda? And she said, I saw you in January, and a week later, you were having dinner with Scott. Oh my God, Dorinda, why do you care? Seriously, none of the other ladies care. At least not to the extent you do. Some women have very complicated relationships with their boyfriends or the men in their lives. If you guys watch Vanderpump Rules, this kind of thing is happening with Kristen. And Katie and Stassi are having a lot of trouble, let's just say, with Kristen because she says one thing about her relationship with her boyfriend but they are witnessing another. She keeps saying they're broken up, yet, you know, he comes over and they're living together or whatever's going on. It's very similar to Tinsley and Scott. But the thing is, the relationship doesn't fit in a neat box, and it doesn't have to for you. If you're her friend, just try to support your friend as much as you can. If it's driving you crazy, then talk about other things when you're around her. But, like, don't worry about it, Dorinda. In Dorinda's confessional, she said, "It's not about whether she's with Scott or not. It's about transparency." I just don't think she should care. Okay, now Sonia has gotten her claws into William. William, that's the name of that guy that was Ramona's friend. And she's trying to, I think, introduce him to Leah, although she might want him for herself, because she introduces them and she goes, "This is Leah. You don't want any kids, right?" And Leah goes, "No, I'm done." And Sonia goes, "I'm done too." Oh, good. I'm not sure anybody was worried about you having more children, Sonia. Anyway, Leah said, "You don't want kids?" And he goes, "No, at least not right now." Okay, that's a little different. Because if you want to get with these women, that "not right now" is going to have to be ever. Oh, okay, I see what's happening. In Sonia's confessional, she said, "The hot guy is one of Ramona's ex-lovers. She's always going after my guys, so I thought maybe I'll go after one of hers and see how she likes it." Sonia goes on to say, "Because I heard that this guy's got a pair of jeans full of magic." I never heard that phrase before. And also, ew. Oh, you guys. I just fell in love with Leah. Just this very moment, I fell madly in love with her. Okay, so Sonia is now telling this William, "I usually go after young guys, but I'm not doing that right now." And Leah said, "I don't think he could handle you." And she goes, "Oh, he could handle me." And I don't know what he was saying, but Leah said, "He seems," to his face, "he seems like the kind of guy that when he's having sex with you would be looking at himself in the mirror." Yes. So good. Sonia was like, "Don't say that. You're getting him mad. Don't get him mad." Oh, God, Leah, I love you for that. Gets even better in her confessional. She said, "William just seems like the kind of guy that would be trying to, you know what?" I'm not going to say it on my channel. But his fingers would be in the wrong place. He'd be doing it too hard and it really hurts. That's what I think about when I see William. Oh my God, Leah. I am so happy you're here. She looked, it would be like, "No, William, that's my thigh." Oh, God. Oh, well, unfortunately, we leave that fun to check back in with Tinsley and Dorinda. It's going great, guys. It's going great. Tinsley's like, "You're the only one that cares about this." "No, I'm not." And she said, "How are you being a good friend? You're calling me a liar." "No, I didn't call you that. See, now you're putting words in my mouth. Don't be tricky. You're being tricky." Oh, God, this is just getting worse and worse. But you know why it's getting worse, in my opinion? Because Tinsley is actually standing up to her. Like, I think more than she ever has. She's standing her ground for sure. And she said, "What's going on with you? Is it you just don't want to be my friend? Is that it? You think you're so tough, but so am I. So am I. I don't give a what you think of me." And Dorinda's like, "Oh, is that your tough girl? Just give it up." Tinsley's like, "So you don't want to be my friend? Is that what's going on here?" "I just want to know who you are." And Tinsley goes, "You know who I am." But now Dorinda's gotten all street tough. "You just think you're gonna ride up on me and get all tough with me? Take a stand. It ain't gonna work, sister." Tinsley's like, "You know what? I'm done." Dorinda's like, "Great. I'm done too. You look great. Your lashes look great." And she gets up, walks away, and Tinsley's like, "You are a sweet woman. Nice. Then Dorinda goes to sit down next to Lou and Sonia, and she's saying, oh, Tinsley's going to come in all hot with me and say, oh, like you think you're gangster? Well, I'm sorry, but I am. Well, that gives Luann a big laugh. Oh, now Tinsley joins them. I'm so glad she followed. I really am. Because Dorinda's just talking smack about her behind her back. She's like, do we know who Tinsley is? I mean, do we really know? And Tinsley's standing right there. So she sits down and said, I was just trying to talk to her. Dorinda calls her fake, and she goes, oh, now I'm fake. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Either you accuse me of not talking to you at all, and then when I go and try and talk to you, now I'm being fake. Dorinda yells at her to lower the volume of her voice. Turn it down. Turn down that voice. I guess that's the sound of a knob lowering the volume. Dorinda's needs to be oiled. Leah sits down on the other side of Tinsley, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? All the ladies are sitting on this bench now. Luann got up and tried to switch places with Tinsley so that she would be right next to Dorinda so she could talk to her. And Tinsley said, no, I just went through trying to talk to her. I'm done with that. Ooh, Leah is maybe a little instigator. She whispers to Tinsley, are you going to let her talk to you like that? All right. Don't work too hard, Leah, because I don't like someone who is so obviously working hard to, find her place on the show that she's just stirring the pot just to do it. You on your own, girl, you are good enough. Trust me. You don't have to dial it up. Dorinda has lost it. At the very, very beginning of the conversation, when Tinsley said, can I talk to you for a minute? Dorinda said, yeah, let's do it now because I haven't had too much to drink and I know that's going to happen later. I think maybe she did have too much to drink already because now she's acting crazy. She's standing up, clapping. Okay, kindergarten is over. And Leah is looking at her like, why are you doing this? Dorinda, call mommy. Honestly, Leah is like, you're acting crazy. In her confessional, Leah said, Dorinda looks like the snake from Beetlejuice, except even scarier and meaner. You guys, this is not ending. Dorinda gets up to leave. She says, I'm bored. You bore me. She's walking away. She stumbles, of course. Tinsley said, don't fall, Dorinda. Dorinda can't let it go. She comes back and she goes, my heel got caught. The difference is I paid for them. I never laid on my back for them. And off she goes. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know what to say. Dorinda is one of those people that I think is an amazing addition to this show, to this cast. But I can't, with the bullying, I can't. I don't understand it. It feels like there has to be more to it than this because there's so much anger. I don't know. It's just strange. In any case, that is where this episode ends. I love this franchise so much. Can't wait for next week. All right, thank you so very much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. And I did promise you guys that I had a little tutorial on how to make your own mask. So here we go. So, bandana, 2 little hair ties. All you do is take your bandana, fold it in half. And this, like, obviously this will be easier to do like when you're like laying flat down on a table. Then you're going to fold the half into thirds. Again, it's going to be easier to do it on a flat surface. Okay, so now you have something that looks like this. Take your 2 hair ties, put them on the ends like this right here. In a little ways, about maybe a third of the way in. This is the only part that's slightly tricky to describe, but you open the end up like this, one end, and you take the other end and you fold it into it. It ends up looking like this with the 2 ties on the end. I saw this idea on Instagram. Kristen Bell had posted it. I'm sure you can find it all over now because it's so clever. Okay, and then these just go over your ears like this. And voila. Super simple, super easy. I love you guys. Everybody, please stay home. Please stay safe. I'll see you next time. Bye.